Yes, and welcome back to Foreign Friday, American Style Part 2. I see we have a special guest today, Thomas. Who might that be?
He's offering his opinion about horse racing.
Yes, he is. He said, don't listen to those two if you replay that bark slowly. That's what it sounded like to me.
Very slowly.
Yes, indeed. We had a pretty solid week last week there. I was pretty happy about that. So,
yeah, you had a $40 horse, and that was certainly well worth the price of admission.
Yeah, and you had a good winner too, though, Thomas, right?
I did.
Yeah, in that last race, you had a good winner. The 9 horse. Was it the 9 horse?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, indeed. So hopefully we can have a lot of nice winners. We've been pretty good, between me, you, and Terry at Kentucky Downs. Terry had a nice.
It was chalky. I mean, we're still looking at a 50% favorite winning. So it's been pretty chalky, but then we hit with those $200 horses. So,
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the pick 3 on, I think, Sunday. 2 favorites in the pick 3 in that sequence. One person had it for 48,000. That pick 6.
The pick 6
with two favorites in there.
Yeah. Was that the one with the $200 horse one, right?
No, that was pick 6 is 7 through. 8 through 12. It's not the front end.
All right. Yesterday we had that 9 horse that won because of the smart sheets. Today we really won't go over them. Just know that they're there. There's a link for the smart sheets in the description on YouTube. We're going to kind of just get through the picks and move on today because it is Foreign Friday. That's sort of the format.
Our format is to be quick.
Yes, indeed.
We weren't last time.
No, we were slow. So free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet as always. Head on over there. There's a link in the description below. A little later on today, I will post all of my thoughts, all of Thomas's thoughts for all 12 races today over at horseracingtoday.net. There'll be a link right here along with the race replay. Just click on that. Of course, while you're there, hit that HRT gear button. As I mentioned, we do have smart sheets. They are available. There is a link in the description on YouTube. Make sure you use that along with the explanation on how to use them. It popped that was the top ranked first time starter. I had him ranked second, that 9 horse that paid over $50 yesterday. No chance you get him without the smart sheets, folks.
And even better, I hit the exact of that race, 326.
Yeah, it was nice for sure, indeed. Race number 1, Thomas, they're going to run 6.5 furlongs. It's a maiden race for 2-year-olds, your absolute favorite. We'll roll with the profile of a winner down below the race number. I know these are your favorite type of races, Thomas, so let's get to your picks in race number 1.
I'll start with 7. Lil. First-time starter, has good works and should love the track because with that breeding. Number 12, Haiti Jane, showed a little early last time and then retreated. I think switching to the turf will make the difference. And finally, I'm going to take 1, Sadie Earp. Just missed at Saratoga last time out. It was a Datori Ward horse. Definitely going to be the favorite. But that post position one is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I agree that this horse has proven it can win at the level. It's the only horse with a yes race in terms of hitting a par. But as you pointed out, Tom, that post is difficult. I'm going to go with one of the horses that might get into the race with any scratches, and there have been scratches every day. So Call Me Precious. This is the top-rated first-timer if it gets in a race full of horses that have no's or maybes. Triskelion, I don't know how you pronounce that horse's name, but that's what I'm going to call it. This one's making its second start, and we have what's called second race par ability on the smart sheets. Again, the link in the description on YouTube. Use them. That horse improves it all. Look out. And then another also eligible, the 13, just needs to be better in its second start, too, to make its way to the winner's circle. A couple of other horses in there as well, first-time starters in the description in our commentary on horseracingtoday.net. I will include a couple of horses just in case there are scratches. Race 2, Tom, is 1 mile and 5/16. This one's an optional claimer on the turf course, of course. Again, we'll put the profile of a winner down there below. So let's go about making our picks for race number 2. We said it was going to be quick. So far, we're
Yep.
words.
Start with 7 out of deductions. Turns off to the races after some really good workouts at Hawthorne. This is the correct level for this horse, and you should get an okay price. 11, Masterpiece. Last win was in May of 2024 in a grade 2. It's had, started after its breaks. It shows improvement each time with those 3 up. I'm going to put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And finally going to go 3, Sergo. Should run forward. Drops from stakes company. This is a level that hasn't been in a while, so I think you got to watch out for this horse.
Yeah, it's funny. The one that you're ending with is the one I'm starting with on every race so far. This is a class dropper that has room to be better, according to his resume in the second start. Gilded Kraken, going to head towards the front. Does have enough late speed to finish it out. Number 4, King Curlin. Last race was faster than it looks. Does have a little bit of experience at the KD. 3 times out, a couple of seconds. Tough trip in the miss. And then bail us out, which is what we want from a third host next Friday. If we don't do good this Friday, this one has as much back class as any of them. It's going to drop from a grade 3 into this spot today. So we are moving along at a fast pace, Thomas. I can hardly keep up. Race number 3 for
it's always the first time, right?
Yeah, well, this one's going to be a mile. It's an allowance $190,000, purse of $190,000. They don't have any problem throwing money around there, Thomas.
Yeah, but also keep in mind that if you're Kentucky bred, you're in for the bonuses. It's a $100,000 race for everybody that's not a Kentucky bred.
All right, so who's going to win the third race, Tom?
Number 4, State of Joy. Last one in September of 2024 at Down Royal. She's coming in off the break, has great workouts, and she could win first up. Number 10, Cheetah Lady. She's going to be dead last.
Just hope she doesn't finish.
And rallies, and she's it's first started this track, but she does know how to close, and we've seen a mixture at this track. Somebody gets away, she still could get up there for some money. And finally, number 11, Princess Attitude, gets little class relief after decent efforts. Some stakes races. Again, this is a bit of a drop for her, and I think she's got a chance.
Well, the trend continues where you stop. I start with Princess Attitude. This is according to our smart sheets, pretty heavy simulation favorite where we run 1,000 simulations to project out the winner. That's proven to be pretty accurate so far. And according to our C-Zone in the smart sheets, again, a link in the description on YouTube, as well as a link on how to use them. It says that this one's going to get an excellent trip. I Love You Anyway. Highly consistent in her 4 races. Thomas drops after showing some better early pace in the last. Number 5, Golden Gamble. That's what I'm taking here. By far, its best workouts getting ready for today's race. And getting some first-time Lasix today could help that workout translate to track work. And then Steampunk. The only time this horse ran on Kentucky Downs, it won. This one's been all or nothing on the turf. 4 times out. Couple of wins and nada. And you know how much I like those all or nothing types, Thomas.
Yep, winner, you're done.
Yeah, I should either put it at the top of the ticket or not on the ticket at all if it's a win or nothing, right? Have some conviction, Richard. Back to 6.5 furlongs. This is an optional, an allowance of $220,000. 3-year-old fillies, Thomas, again at the bottom of the screen and the stroller there. We have the profile of a winner. And along with that profile of a winner, Thomas is going to tell us who is his winner.
Start number 11, Saturday Flirt. She's only run 1 bad race. That was at Royal Ascot. The other 3 she's won. Turf workouts. Looks like she's going to win again. And she's definitely going to be a favorite there, I think.
Mhm.
Once it's all said and done and you get to Tori and Ward, that's usually okay. 7, She's Got Will. One last time back, coming from far back at Saratoga. And that was her initial start this season. She's got pace to run at in this race. I don't think there's any question about that. And closers like stalkers and closers like to get there. Finally, I'm going to take 4, Drop the Hammer. She's shown speed in her last 2 races. She won a maiden, and with that draw, I think she'll be setting the pace.
Well, we break the trend, Thomas. I'm going to start off with Proud Starlet, the 12, as my first selection. Outside speed, Tom, where speed, as you look at the scroll down below, 36% of the time, horses with the lead keep the lead, and outside posts are better than inside posts. So perfect fit. And top last race speed figure of a handful of points better than the next closest competitor. Rich City Girl. Well, all you need is the first name, Rich. Anything else afterwards doesn't matter. But the only time this horse ran on the turf, it won. It was a little more than a year ago. You know where it was, Tom?
Tennessee Downs.
Yes, Tennessee Downs, Kentucky Downs, and it was also at 6.5 furlongs like today. So there you go. Saturday Flirt, again, a horse that Tom started with. I have in my picks too. We just reversed order this time around. As you pointed out, she's had her way in 3 races. The lone miss was a Group 2 at Ascot. Maybe according to its workouts, it'll have its way again today. And then Scatitude, another also eligible if it gets in the race you want to consider. This time, that last race out, Scatitude, its fractions were a little faster. And if you look at the pace, it was better from gate to wire. I love that combination. And we do skip forward pretty fastly, Thomas, to race number 5. We'll point out today that there are 12 races, and half of them are stakes races. Race number 5 is not it. It's another maidens race for fillies 3 years old and up. Once again, down there for that mile bias, scrolling on the bottom, we show you what the average winner looks like. Tom was going to show us what his winner looks like and tell us why.
Starting with number 11. Don't Look Now. She blew the start last in the first start, came on strongly at the end, and she was really wide, but she's bred for the turf and should love it. Number 8, Crimson Knight, showed speed. Second start switches to the turf, and I think that's the right move. Number 5, Play Azul, is going to be final. Slow start, showed some speed, didn't finish. She needed that race. That's my opinion, and I like those odds, so I'm going to put her as my third choice.
Yeah, you and I are now, after kind of wobbling back and forth, now we're starting to come into an alignment with each other. So look out, folks. We're going to blow up a big marshmallow man. Crimsonite, that one there had the top last race speed figure, a handful of points better than everybody else. And again, if you read Andrew Breyer's books, one of the key pieces of information that you'll take out of there is any horse with a 3-speed point advantage, the prior start, circle that one and find reasons to like it. And this one has room to be better in its 3rd career start. Don't Look Now as we flip our Exacta Thomas. Terrible start, as you mentioned. But I don't know if you pointed out, a pretty difficult trip down the stretch, too. 9 wide. So I would overall rate that a terrible race. And still, besides the terrible race, if it improves at all in its 2nd start, good enough to get above par for this level. Number 7, Agia Marina. That one looks like it's going to be the morning line favorite. And really, since moving to turf the last 2 starts, any of them probably is a formidable effort. And then Playa Azul, player blue, huh? Azul, I think means blue in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one that has room to be better in the 2nd career start and move to turf. And it was well bet in its debut. I think it ran on the Gulfstream Park all-weather track when it started its career. Man, we're blowing through this card. Halfway through, Mark, will be race number 6. Tom, what is the 6 races, 1 mile and 5/16 on the turf? It's the Light and Wonder Ladies Marathon Invitational Stakes for a cool $2 million, Thomas. It's a pretty good prize pool right there, no?
I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain either. So who's going to take home the 60% stake, Tom, in that $2 million race?
I'm going to start with number 4. Spanish Eyes. She's run 3 times in this country. She missed the start in all those races, but still came on strongly. In the last 2 are in Group 2. She finished second. I give it her start, and I think she's more suited for this distance and for this group. 3, Beach Bomb. My next choice was the favorite last time out and didn't get the best of runs, and that was in a graded race. Second, she's in her other start, she pulled to the lead and then yielded. I just think better results and a little better jockey on. Number 5, Nadette. My final choice. This is the 3rd start after her layoff, and average runs, but she's been coming on. She improved a little on that last start. I think she's going to improve enough to get some money today.
Well, you started. I'm going to stop, Tom, but we'll get to that in a minute. Stellify, the 6 horse. This one's won 3 in a row, and the resume says something better than any of those 3 is coming today in the 2nd start after a layoff. Number 8, Miwa. Very strong turf breeding and demolished the Kentucky Downs field in its last race.
She ran a huge race last time.
Indeed. No Mo Candy did run the top last race speed figure. I just told you about Andrew Beyer. I'm not going to forget about that.
And they scratched it out of a race from yesterday too. To run here. Yeah.
Well, and also, from my experience, Tom, I don't know about what you have noticed, but after looking at thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of races, I have to be closing in on that 10,000, like make you an expert. You've heard that thing, you do something 10,000 times, you become an expert, Tom. I think we got to be closing in on that. And I don't know when the expert status will come, but from my experience, the first time a horse is making its 3rd start in a row, it either booms or busts. What have you seen?
I think the level is the important thing. I don't see that with $5,000 claimers. They're just too unpredictable.
Yeah, well, you don't usually see 5,000 horses making their 3rd start of their career, if they're any good, in $5,000 claimers. I agree.
Yeah,
Spanish Eyes
horses are slightly better.
A little bit, yeah. I think if they were in a $5,000 claimer, they would have to shake with everybody in the stands too. Everybody would rush down to get their license. The 4 horse Spanish Eyes, where you started, I'm going to stop on here. Yeah, if it repeats its last race, it's probably not going to have a problem. And I think based upon its career, I don't think it'll have any issue with the distance either. So if you want to help the show out, very easy way to do that is to go ahead and hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, follow us. If you haven't done so already on all our social sites, you see them scrolling down there below. If you're watching on X, do us a huge favor, retweet right now and share our content with your friends. The more interaction that we have, be it comments or you come back, because I will timestamp every race in the description on YouTube. If you leave a comment, a like, anything that helps boost our search engine scores, we greatly, greatly appreciate that help. 7th race, Tom, as we make our way to the back half of the Kentucky Derby. It's because that KD keeps screwing me up. Kentucky Downs card. It's yet another one of those stakes races, a mile, the FanDuel TV Millions Invitational Stake, Grade 3. I don't know why I should be giving any free pub to FanDuel. I've tried a couple of times to work with them in various aspects, and so far they have said, So from now on, no free advertising for FanDuel. 1 mile on the turf, Thomas, for another cool $2.5 million. Who takes home the big check?
Number 9, Point Lannis, my top choice. I don't know what went wrong at Pontefract last time out. It was a listed race and just didn't run because from 2 races before that, one was at Ascot and the other was at Shanty, ran against very good company in group races. And can anything close to that, there's nothing in this field that's close to that. 3, Caro is going to be my next choice. Didn't have the best of race, I would to say the least, in the Arlington Million. His first start. But this year he's had some good efforts against top company at Chester and at Royal Ascot. So I don't, at that price, that's a nice price.
Yeah, I saw that horse run down in Gulfstream Park too, maybe a year and a half ago for the Holy Bull. I think that was 2 years ago. And that horse looked really strong that day. So it certainly has the talent, no question.
And finally, 2 Major Dude is my final choice. Ran at Monmouth and a graded stakes last time out and showed some nice speed. It broke well. I like the work coming into this race, and I think that's why I need to put it in my ticket.
I'm going to start off with the 13, Laggy Nose. Laggy Nose absolutely stomped the competition. As you put it, a big race last out, Kentucky Downs. I was going to say Kentucky Derby again.
But this is a better field.
Yeah, well, just only has to win by a nose, doesn't have to win by 7.
No. Right.
Number 7, speaking of 7s, Brilliant Bertie has run at the distance 5 times, stopped for a photo at the end in 4 of them. The other time, got the runner-up situation. If you, again, our smart sheets are available in the link in the description on YouTube. And the C-Zone, where we look at today's projected pace, we do 1,000 races, we project the pace, and then we overlay today's pace on their best performances to see how closely they align. C-Zone says Brilliant Birdie going to get another good trip at the distance today. The horse that you like, Point Linus, that one is an English Invader, as you pointed out, Thomas, with strong turf breeding. And Frankie, no, it's not Frankie. It's
the Tory's up.
Yeah, the Tory. Is it Frankie or is it?
Yeah, Frank.
The LaFranco. Yeah.
And this is an Ed Bethel horse. This used to ride for his father. And Ed took over his father's license a couple of years ago. And this will be the first ride for him.
Well, any horse that Frankie has taken over, since LaFranco equals Frankie, at Kentucky Downs so far in this meet, Thomas, I think you want to have your eyes on that guy. Andrew Beyer might say a 3-point speed figure, but any jockey that's winning at any meet, or at least right now at 32%, you probably want to pay attention to that guy.
Yeah, him and Jose Ortiz are the top 2, tied for the most wins right now.
Goliad, El Número Uno is my final choice in here. This one's run 2 times at Kentucky Downs. You know how many he won, Tom?
0.
You won them both, my boy. I like how you go. You know exactly what I want you to say, and you do the opposite. That tells you the kind of guy Thomas is right there. This one wants to be forward. It's going to be forward today, Thomas, so it should get another trip that it likes. And I also think if my reading is okay, and sometimes it's mixed bag because I'm hustling through things, I think he's the defending champ. Race 8, I'm sure we're going to find out that was wrong, but anyway.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well. This is the Exacta Systems Gun Runner Stakes. That was a good horse there, Tom, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
$2 million.
Won a few races.
Yeah, won a few. That's a horse that I wouldn't mind having in my barn if I ever have a barn of horses.
Hey,
it's on the to-do list.
I just like to get a stud fee.
Yeah, that would work out too, right? Yeah, no question about that. I'll take that. All right. But anyway, maybe we'll see that in the mix here as well, but I don't know. 1 mile again, you see that on the bottom. We have the profile of a winner scrolling on by. We also have a couple of ideas on who's going to win here, and the pattern emerges again. Tom's third pick becomes my first pick, but before we get to my first pick and Tom's third pick, we got to get to Tom's first pick. That's a Laurel and Hardy skit.
And we're going to start with number 10, Clever Again. He ran for the first time on the turf after 5 dirt races, and it was a strong effort in grade 2. It was a 2-turn mile race, so 1 turn this time around. And he had issues in that race, but he really ran well. And I think second up on the turf, I think is a nice angle to get a win, especially against this company. 2, Native Runner is going to be my next choice. Slow off and then ran on. He's had reasonable efforts before that, including a win, which is definitely more than reasonable. I think the biggest difference has been going a little longer. Switching back to the mile, I think it's more suited for him, and I think that's why I put him for second. Mm-hmm. And number 7, New Century, the one you like on top. Well, adds blinkers, had a nice run at a grade 1 last Returns to the 1 mile distance and gets a little bit of class relief. That's going to help.
He's also gone back-to-back hundos on the speed guns, Thomas. That's a pretty good thing. And maybe more to come today. Third start after layoff. Gio Cosco in our simulations, in our smart sheets. This guy's coming off a group grade 2 win. And also, it's a top total pace horse. So if you add the early pace and you add the late pace together, that one would grade out as your winner. Rolando, going to the turf for the very first time. All of its numbers fit, Thomas. You just don't know how a horse is going to take to a new surface. And then the one horse, apparently you didn't like this one, Thomas. Maybe you and I have the same thoughts, but I put him in. Maybe he's your fourth pick. I don't know. But he was a Group 3 winner in Germany. I am not 100% sold on German racing just yet, but he did get the nose over your 10 horse. Clever again. Again, I will put some extra horses in my picks in case there are scratches. We'll post them over at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, hit that HRT gear button. Just yourself a Horse Racing Today hat or T-shirt or coffee mug. I mean, the weather where we are, Thomas, certainly was coffee worthy this morning. What was it, 49 degrees or something like that?
Yeah, it was nippy.
Yes, a little bit cold. It went from 95 to 45 in a week. Race 9 is what we're going to go to. This is another one of these stakes races. Big money at stake, $2 million for the Music City Stakes. Grade 2 effort here for fillies that are 3 years old, Tom. And which 3-year-old filly is going to make its owner, trainer, jockey, and everybody else involved pretty? Hey, look at this one. We agree on the top pick. Stop the presses, folks. This horse right here, just put an X through it. Move on to the next.
Well, got to take number 9, Kilwin. She returns to the turf after 2 winning efforts on the dirt. They were both in graded 1 stakes. She won the test last time out at 7 furlongs at Saratoga. She's won stakes here last year, and that was on the turf.
Well, if they ran one on the dirt there, that would be the story.
And that would be a huge story. But I think she's definitely the one to beat. Number 5, Talabiti is my next choice. Ran in a Group 3 at Goodwood last time out and won that race. This distance suits without too much trouble. The other races were at 7 furlongs, but adding another furlong is not going to hurt this horse at all. Number 4, Bint Tot, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Late running type. Just missed in 2 efforts at 5.5 at Saratoga. I think she needed some more distance. She's going to get it today. And I think the added distance is definitely going to be the difference.
If anybody from Brisnet or DRF or any of the program makers are watching, one of the things you might think about doing is put in the phonetic spelling, how to pronounce these names. I know they do that in the media guides, but it would be grateful and useful if we had that. Number 9, we agree on this one at the top, Thomas. That one is Kilwin, top last race speed figure, a lucky 7 points better than everybody else. And on our smart sheets, this one has biggest in-race edge of 2 lengths on the late speed. So that one's anywhere close to them, coming down those ups and downs, and then that little bit of a dip, and then that uphill run. Well, they're not going to catch that one if it's on the lead. Sis O Spicy. I think I got that one right. Probably not. In any case. Yeah, this one's going to be a pace setter where 36% of the time the horses that get the lead. It doesn't need the lead because it's an EP type, so it can pilot or co-pilot. But when it gets to the front, especially when you combine those with strong C zones, and it has by far the strongest likelihood to get a race today that matches its best performances. I've seen that combination pop for a W too many times to ignore. And then we agree on that 5 horse. Tabiti as my third choice. Does have a couple of Group 3 wins in England and has the Tory riding. And did I mention, Thomas, how well he's doing? Frankie at the Kentucky Downs?
He's been doing fairly well.
Yeah, he's been doing good. 32% of the dubs so far. Classic Q, another with speed, cutting back in distance today. That we learned that angle from our good friend Charles, who's no longer with us. But the information that he shared that was useful remains. Race 10 is we only have 12 races, Tom. I don't think we've ever done a show this fast, even when we do 5 races. But we're clicking along here for the Ainsworth Franklin Simpson Grade 1. That one's $2 million as well. This one's just for 3-year-olds, and it doesn't matter what you got going. Down at the bottom, we do have the profile of a winner going. So you see, again, speed will be the way to get the job done. And Thomas, is your winner going to be out on front? Is your winner come off the pace? What's your winner going to do to get to the winner's circle?
Yeah, stalking, I think, will be what number 8 spiced up will do. Undefeated as a 3-year-old. Won a graded 3 race last time at Saratoga. Since switching to the turf, I think in time off, that's made all the difference. Number 12, Bridle a Butterfly. What a silly name. Rallied for second last time out at Ellis. Late run, a little bit of late run. I'm tossing that mud race because it was, no good. And it won a stakes race at Churchill earlier. I'm a little concerned about the distance, but does have that late run, so that may make the difference. And finally, I'm going to take 5 Antisocial. It's got 3 runs on the turf. They've all been good. He's another dropping in distance type. He's got some early foot. I don't know if he's going to win, but I like him for the money.
Tom likes those long odds horses that don't win, but necessarily. It's funny whenever I say this is.
Yeah, but when you play these horse races, you got to look when you're not trying to pick a winner to run third. Mm-hmm. So I try to my approach has always been, okay, who can close but not necessarily win, but close good enough to get some money.
Yeah, I do my handicapping a little bit different. I just rank them in order of how I think they can win. Yeah. I understand I think about that too, like who's going to pick up a piece at the end, perhaps. But for the most part, I rank them in order of I think their likelihood
to winning preferences. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just try to take a little different approach because I found that, especially when I was back in the day, I was playing trifectas a lot. To take the approach of saying, okay, what are the chances of this horse winning? But what is it? The better chance is it finishing third. Mm-hmm. I found that angle, resulted in some nice payoffs.
Well, what's funny about that angle, Tom, is that when Terry and I do our shows, and we will on Monday and Tuesday at Parks, Wednesday, and is Kentucky Downs
is Wednesday. It'll be its closing day.
So we're going to do Kentucky Downs on Wednesday. Don't know what we're going to do on Thursday, but I do know that if you subscribe, you'll watch and you'll win. Again, Terry with a $1,000 pick 4 yesterday that he mentioned on air. So, all those folks out there who complain, hey, tell us before the fact, not after the fact. We always tell you before the fact. And the only way you'll know for a fact is to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell when you're notified. It's going to go live, or same thing on X. I'm going to go with Governor Sam, the 7 horse in race number 10 is my top choice. And the reason is, one of the things, again, watching races over and over and over again, Irad Ortiz, I think he likes to sit on horses that stalk the lead and then close. And I think that's exactly what he's going to get. I feel like this horse is the perfect fit for him on this day. And it also has the top C zone. So not only is the horse going to be where Irad wants it to be, but it's also going to be, according to our analysis, right where it wants to be. 2 + 2 equals a win. Chasing Liberty, the 6 horse, solid run. The only time this horse took a trip around the Kentucky Downs course. And usually this one comes off the bench, ready to run. That's what we'll find out. Number 9, Mi Baggio, another one of those top last race speed figure horses, this time a lucky 7 points. And only one of 2 horses in this race that have shown it can hit par for this level. But it's another one of those all or nothing horses. It's either going to win or you're not going to see it when the horses cross the finish line. And then finally, number 8, Spiced Up, your top pick. My last pick. What's going on today, Tom? But this one has a Barry Meadows alpha angle. Again, if you haven't read his book and you're a numbers person, a numbers geek, Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. I think you recommended that one, Thomas, or maybe it was.
Yes, I did a while back.
I think that's where I picked that one up. If you like the data and you want to go through it, it's what I call an alpha angle. 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row or more those horses next time out, they win at 15% or more. That's a pretty good winning angle, Tom, for anything.
Not to mention it's been winning those races too. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, you've been winning. And also grade 3 win last time out. And this one's going to make its second start of its career for the very first time. And I call those, Thomas, and you have your signs of life horses. You look at these horses that are a little bit older, or you see them run head to the sideline, run head to the sidelines, run head to the sidelines, and then suddenly they're making 2 starts in a row. That tells me the trainer's looking at this horse and he's saying this horse is finally healthy enough to put 2 races in a row out on the track.
Or its maturity.
Mm-hmm. Well, mental health.
I tend to put that more towards the fillies and mares than I do the colts and geldings, because all of a sudden you see this mare that hasn't done much of anything, and then she hits 5 or in that 4 or late 4, and then she starts winning, and you're like, where did this come from?
Yeah, we had one of those last week. I think we mentioned that specifically on the air. 5-year-old mare that just popped in the last race, and we're like, why not? Let's do it again. Race 11, 1.5 miles. This one is the Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational Stakes. Is this the one that's the Breeders' Cup winning you're in, or no? Did we go over that already? That was probably the Music City one, if I remember.
I think it's this one.
This one? Let's go look.
But I have to look. I don't remember.
I'll look right now. And Blood Horse is going to see if I'm a human or not. This is new. Does this do this to you too, Tom, or no? Or do you not look at this?
No, I don't. I get the finger other times.
This. Yeah. What is this? Fill with air and deflate? What? Select the item you can fill with air and deflate. I don't know. Is this balloons here or basketball?
Some of our picks.
Oh, what the hell? Let's go. I've had enough of this craziness. All right, here we go. The winning you're in race is the Kentucky Downs Turf Cup. So I think we talked about that already. $2.5 million on the line. Yeah, there's this one. $2.5 million on the line. And a bid to the November Breeders' Cup, which is at Del Mar this year, right, Tom? Is that right?
Yes, they're back to Del Mar again.
Man, I got a couple of things right.
Yeah.
Can I get the pick right? We'll see if Tom can get his pick right first. All right, what do you got?
I start with Utah Beach, number 7. Last run was in a grade 1 at Saratoga. It ran well and finished 4th at the end. First start after the layoff has been, and at this distance, it's like your heart, like you like. 8 attempts, it's won 4 times. Otherwise, I think it's got a third once, but that's it. I think this attempt at the distance and that record, and coming off a grade 1 run that was decent, it's hard for me to pass on this one for the top spot. Number 11, Fort Washington, has got some nice late kick, and that got him a win last time after he had a lot of trouble. It was a grade 1 race. This will be his first try at this distance, but that late kick, strong finish, you got to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we'll take number 6, Grand Sonata. Finished 2nd in its last 2 starts, but it's been running very well. That the only race that didn't run well was on the dirt. I wonder why. Won this race last year on the front end at 15-1.
Well, I'm going to go with the 11, Fort Washington. You pointed out that horse has a late speed, good late legs. Well, its late legs are 2 lengths better than everybody else's late legs. So getting that 1.5 miles, that 2 lengths.
My only concern, it's never run the distance.
Yeah, well, maybe that extra late speed edge over everybody else who make up the distance. Grand Sonata, the 6 horse. This is a Bob Dylan horse. Been knocking on the door at shorter distances of late, so getting a little bit more distance today could be the answer. Mercante, the 5 horse. There is not a lot of speed in this race, Thomas. And when this horse gets out front,
Sonata, that's why he won last year.
Well, when this horse Mercante gets to the front, guess what? It does its best work. And then finally, number 10, Corruption. That one has by far the best chance to get a trip that matches its best performances. And when it gets a good trip on grass, it's won 5 out of 9 races.
And you know what's going to happen, don't you? Because you didn't pick Tawny Port.
Yeah, it's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my favorite horse, but anyway.
You want to drive yourself crazy? That's your horse.
Yeah, like when it's
Done a
like
very successful job over a period of time, but it
Yeah,
hasn't
me
won
too.
in a couple of years, so who knows?
So the 12th and final race today at Kentucky Downs is going to wrap up our Foreign Fridays at home, our domestic Foreign Fridays. Any idea as we return to the international stage next Friday, Thomas? We
We're
will
going
take
to
our
join the
talents.
Sunday racing from Sept.
Shot 10, all right.
They open up this weekend, and Kaying Rising is running this week, and so that horse is quite something. And as they move to the Everest with that horse, it'll be interesting to see if it can continue to kick butt like it has in the past.
Well, we'll talk about that next Friday. And we'll see indeed how it preps for all that.
No, it's this weekend they're running. Kaying is running. Kaying Rising is running this weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend,
we're going to talk about. Oh, it's this weekend he's running.
This weekend, yeah.
It's like tomorrow. Oh, okay.
On Sunday, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next weekend we're going to do Shot 10, though. You said, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So I just want to make sure
we like those full fields, and your $1,000 trifecta payoff that is really
$12.
$12.
Yes, indeed. You feel like you won something until you actually put it in your account. Well, 2-year-olds going to end the show, Thomas. Start the show, end the show with a bunch of stakes races in between, but still pretty decent amount of money, $170,000 on the line. Your favorite kind of race, Thomas. So in your favorite race, who's going to win? Now, you just said I'm going to take the longest shot on the board and cross my fingers. Is that the route you went?
Yeah, I'm going to start with number 10, Massachusetts. Made a slow start in its first race and showed very little at 28-1. The biggest difference is it's moving to the turf this time around, and it's definitely bred for it. Good workouts, and I think it'll show much more interest this time around than it did last. Number 2, Orbit, my next choice. Has run twice, finished third twice, both on the dirt and turf. Got some, showed a nice pace last time out. A little shorter distance, I think will help. I hope it stalks, because I think that's where it's got a chance. And finally, 3, Spun Legacy is my final choice. Last start was on the turf, and it was not wonderful, but it wasn't awful either, because his first start was awful. He's ranked. It's a really interesting race. He just missed by not much, but he was so rank early. You would think he ran green. That's the best way to describe it. And then he decided he got interested. He goes, "Oh, I like the turf," and took off. Joe Sharp and Irad is hanging around for the 12th race. Always got to wonder about those.
Maybe there's somebody in the locker room he wants to square up with.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thunder Zeus, the 14. It's another also eligible. And if that one gets in to make its second career start, where horses tend to make the biggest leap in performance, that one leaps anything from its debut. Could be tough to beat. Number 12, the Babe Slayer. Somebody's nickname in high school. Anyway, consistent runner and room for more. The first time this one goes a route. Number 11, I guess I like all the outside horses on this one. Exonerate, bounce back race coming in the first race on the turf. And then finally, number 4, she's on a roll, improved in both starts, post its debut. And I like when horses, Thomas, these horses get better real quick. She's on a roll. And then all of a sudden you see right there its best published work that it's ever had. That tells me that the light has indeed ticked on.
And it was the first start on the turf last time too, and it showed a pretty good turn of foot.
And that's what you want to see, some more improvement there, and that great workout in between. So a lot of good work to go. Here are our full picks for the entirety of the day. I get an extra pick. Again, free picks today and every day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description on YouTube. Make sure you take advantage of that. There are also going to be our picks and commentary over at horseracingtoday.net. sometime today or tomorrow. I'll get them up in there. Make sure you take advantage of that. While you're there, hit that HRT gear button. We will greatly appreciate it if you got a Horse Racing Today hat or t-shirt or anything else. Another way you can help support the show, get a cup of coffee. In the description on YouTube, we have a link to a tip jar. We also have a link to the explanation and the smart sheets. We didn't talk about them today. Not much anyway. We did allude to them, but make sure you use them. They'll help you find more winners. I can absolutely assure you of that. So I find a lot of them in there myself. Again, Terry and I will be back on Monday and Tuesday for Parks for Sure. Wednesday, the last day of Kentucky Downs. No idea what we'll do on Thursday. We'll tell you about that during the week. And then, of course, next Foreign Friday, we're off to Shaw 10. We know that already. So make sure you subscribe, follow us, and share all of our content. We'd greatly appreciate that. Any final words of wisdom from you, Thomas, before we get up and get out of here and watch these crazy races tomorrow?
I hope that all the bettors here start strong early, because you can get whammied in those back end races.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we hope no matter what you're doing, that your day gets off to a strong start and ends on a strong start. You're one of those horses that has the top early pace, top middle pace, top late pace. But of course, it's always helpful to have God's grace and God's His grace and His favor in everything that you do. All right, Thomas. Till we get back together again, we hope everything that you do finds its way to the
winner's enclosure.
Yes, indeed, even though it's the winner's circle over here. Until then, have a blessed weekend.